Cam Reddish is likely going to be traded soon. Nothing has been confirmed just yet, but a number of events have led people to believe that Reddish doesn't have much time left with the New York Knicks. It's very likely that the LA Lakers are the most likely destination, but who knows? In this video, we'll be discussing potential candidates for Reddish if the New York Knicks decide to trade him, so stay tuned.
But first, a reminder about our brand new giveaway. We're giving away a PS5 with a copy of NBA 2K22 and Madden 22. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
First off, Cam Reddish is the most likely trade candidate for the Knicks.
And everything is a three ball now, no movement.
Reddish the crossover, the drive, left-handed, off the glass is good. Cam Reddish with his best minutes as a Knick.
Cam Reddish is no longer in the New York Knicks starting lineup, and he might be leaving the team soon enough. Steve Popper of Newsday said that he's the most likely player to be traded if the Knicks decide to make a deal. Now, according to The Athletic, the Knicks have attempted to include Reddish in a deal in order to get rid of Evan Fournier's $18 million payroll, especially because he hasn't played since November 13. However, a different story released earlier in the week claims that the Knicks have been coordinating with Reddish's agents to find a trade partner. Reddish had played in each of the Knicks' first 19 games this season after being acquired in the January trade that sent a first-round pick to the Hawks, and before the 3 games he missed in late November due to a groin injury, he had 8 starts. In both the weekday game and the victory over the Cavaliers at home, a healthy Reddish and Derrick Rose were not included in Tom Thibodeau's 9-man rotation because Quentin Grimes had taken over the starting shooting guard position in his absence. Not to mention, he'll become a restricted free agent following this season. What's more, Reddish isn't sure why he wasn't included in the lineup.
Continues down the lane, kicks it out, Reddish, corner 3, got it, rattles it in.
That's good recognition. Barrett seeing that Reddish just got an and one.
In an interview, the 23-year-old said he didn't know why he hadn't been included, but he also believed he wasn't the one to ask, though he honestly stated that he had no idea why. After all, he'd been working tirelessly on both sides of the floor and making the best effort he could to regain his spot in the team.
Kicks it out, Reddish, mishandled it momentarily, and then has to chuck up a shot, he puts it in, had to throw it up as the shot clock was expiring.
Still, the other things are out of his control, and what he does and brings to the team isn't up to him, at least not always. He simply enters the court and carries out the instructions that were given to him by the coach. Following up, the New York Knicks are looking to stir things up. The Knicks are reportedly looking to mix things up, at least somewhat, after a rather unsteady start to the season.
So looking to post up Conley. Tough shot, got it. Brunson.
That's a common tactic in basketball. If the start of the season doesn't go as they want it to, the team tends to turn the trade in hopes of coming across a more suitable lineup. Popper wrote that the 23-year-old had started 8 games this season and showed the agility that has tempted clubs, but the defense isn't what the Knicks and coach Tom Thibodeau require, so his potential remains higher than the final product. Reddish was acquired by the Knicks in exchange for a first-round selection, but the going rate now would seem to be a second-round pick, or a guy on a rookie contract with a different skill set. He will therefore presumably be difficult to trade, and the Knicks have no intention of simply giving him away. Also, apparently, the Knicks recently spoke with the LA Lakers, at least according to Ian Begley of SNY.TV, but a third team would be required to complete a trade. The team is also reportedly making guards Evan Fournier, Derrick Rose, and Emmanuel Quickley available in addition to Reddish. Next up, Cam Reddish claims that he didn't ask for a trade. It's unclear whether Cam Reddish is trying to get traded from the New York Knicks. At this point, there's been a lot of confusion surrounding the matter, almost 2 months into the season. Not long ago, Stefan Bondy of the New York Daily News revealed that the Knicks still didn't have a role for Reddish. We've got to remember, they only acquired him in a trade with the Atlanta Hawks back in January. What's more, Bondy reported that New York had been working with Reddish's representatives with the goal of working out a trade. Now Cam's firmly denied those claims, saying that he hasn't requested a trade. While talking with reporters, the 23-year-old forward said that the reporters seemed to know more about the fiasco than him. He then added that he's got no idea of what the situation is, so the reports about him are simply untrue. Coming up, why the Los Angeles Lakers may consider Cam Reddish. This season, the Lakers will strive to get better in some way. Thankfully, though, the team has other choices and assets that they can use to improve if a deal for Russell Westbrook doesn't end up happening. Some intriguing names, some of which really can't be seen happening, have been linked to the LA outfit that strengthen the rotation. That is, essentially, all a Lakers supporter can hope for right now. It isn't practical to hope for a major trade that results in the team acquiring a star. Now, Reddish is one of the most commonly mentioned names when it comes to the Lakers. After the NBA player player dropped out of the Knicks lineup, everyone figured that a trade was near. Before the forward was traded to the New York Knicks, the Lakers expressed interest in acquiring him. So now that it's time to choose a potential candidate to trade him to, it's very likely that the Lakers will end up being the 23-year-old's destination. What's more, according to reports, the Knicks and Lakers have already discussed a possible deal for Reddish, and while uncertainty surrounds the Knicks' asking price for Reddish, the Lakers should have no trouble meeting it given the current market price. Finally, how the Los Angeles Lakers is a suitable team for Reddish. The 23-year-old's brief NBA career has shown flashes of promise. He's definitely not the best player out there, but he's also not someone to overlook. The Lakers are a team that can make the most of a young player in cases like these, where the person just needs a change of surroundings. Take a look at what they did to Lonnie Walker IV and Malik Monk. Reddish would have enough playing time to grow into a good professional basketball player in Los Angeles because the team sorely needs wing depth. In spite of his lackluster career, the Lakers should be able to re-sign him to a low contract after this season because he is still only 23 years old. Reddish still has a lot of time to grow and make up for his shortcomings, but once he starts to fall in step with his team, it's very likely that he'll end up being an important asset for the Lakers. Moving on, what is the best potential fit for Knicks' Cam Reddish? First up, the team best fit for Cam Reddish amid rumors of trade. No matter which side is true, two things have become totally clear. The first is that the Knicks and Reddish don't seem to be a good fit for each other. Second is that there are teams that would be interested in Reddish on the trade market. This season, the 23-year-old has played in 20 games, but in recent weeks, his minutes have started to dwindle down. Despite being healthy, he didn't even participate in the past 2 games in New York. Keeping these recent developments in mind, it would make a lot of sense for him to go to a new team and for the Knicks to stop giving him his $5.95 million salary. As per Ian Begley of SNY, many teams have expressed their interest in acquiring Reddish ever since he came to New York earlier in 2022, including Miami Heat, Los Angeles Lakers, and Milwaukee Bucks. Next up, the LA Lakers would be the best potential team for Reddish. Reddish would be able to give a boost to any one of those teams. He was a solid scoring threat over the course of his 2.5 seasons in Atlanta, with an average of 11.1 points in 118 games. He might not have been the most efficient shooter, but his field goal percentages have certainly improved as he's gathered experience. Out of the 3 teams that were rumored to have had an interest in Reddish previously, the best potential fit would be the LA Lakers. They may also be the best team that has the highest need for him from the trio. The Milwaukee Bucks have been cruising this season with 19-6, and they don't need wing players as much anymore since Chris Middleton has come back after recovering from his injury. Chris had left the Bucks after their 97-92 loss to the Houston Rockets because of a sprained ankle. The seriousness of the injury was unclear, but it probably wasn't particularly serious since he's now returning. As for the Miami Heat, with their 12-14, they could certainly use a boost, but they'll probably be in better shape as they get healthier through the progression of the season. Alternatively, when it comes to the Lakers with their 10-15, they're desperately in need of some wing players who will be able to fit in well around their star core of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook, assuming he won't be traded at some point. Now that is a role that would suit Reddish. Lastly, the Lakers should acquire Reddish for the right price. Obviously, it depends on how much New York wants in return for Reddish. The Lakers don't have much draft capital to part with, so they should only try to trade for him for the right price. On the other hand, if the Knicks aren't even going to have Reddish play, perhaps they won't ask for too much from him. If that does turn out to be the case, Los Angeles must capitalize on the opportunity because he's the exact type of player that they should be looking to add. For now, Reddish remains in New York, but in the middle of all these recent rumors, it wouldn't be surprising if he's on a new team by the time the NBA trade deadline passes on the 9th of February. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Cam Reddish will end up in the Los Angeles Lakers? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.